Breaking headlines. The President appoints Minister Maria to temporarily oversee the operations of the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare. Presidential spokesperson clarifies that rumors surrounding a potential cabinet reshuffle are unfounded. And the Commissioner of Police states that gaining the full confidence of the public in police investigations can be achieved by delivering results. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Mahmoud. Looking into the details, President Dr. Mohamed Moizu appoints the Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development, Dr. Mariam Maria, to temporarily oversee the operations of the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare. This decision follows the resignation of Dr. Aishat Ramila from her position as her ministerial position due to health reasons. Dr. Ramila, who assumed office as Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare on November 17, 2023, made significant contributions during her tenure. She is currently receiving treatment for cancer and has previously disclosed that her condition has reached an advanced stage. The President has accepted Dr. Ramila's resignation and expressed his deep gratitude for her dedicated service. In a statement, President Mohamed Moizu commended Dr. Ramila for her outstanding efforts in advancing the rule of law and fostering prosperity for the people of the Maldives despite her ongoing health challenges. He also extended his appreciation for her invaluable cooperation and commitment to serving the government with integrity. The President acknowledged Dr. Ramila's role as an active, dedicated and capable member of the Cabinet and expressed confidence that she will continue to serve the nation in the future. He also conveyed his heartfelt wishes for her swift and full recovery, offering prayers for her strength, patience and a brighter future ahead. Presidential spokesperson Hina Walid clarifies that rumors surrounding a potential cabinet reshuffle are unfounded. Addressing the speculation on social media regarding major changes within the cabinet, Hina Walid emphasized that the President has not made any decisions regarding a reshuffle. In September, President Dr. Mohamed Moizu announced a significant reshuffle within his cabinet. Musa Zamir, formerly the Minister of Foreign Affairs, was appointed as the new Minister of Finance, succeeding Dr. Muhammad Shafiq. Dr. Abdullah Halil, who previously held the position of Minister of Health, was appointed as the new Minister of Foreign Affairs. Furthermore, Abdullah Nazim, who served as Minister at the President's office, was appointed as the new Minister of Health. Additionally, following the resignation of Dr. Aishat Ramila from her position as Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare due to health reasons, President Dr. Moizu appointed Dr. Mariam Maria, the Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development, to temporarily oversee the operations of the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare. Commissioner of Police Ali Shujao has emphasized that the full confidence of the public in police investigations can be achieved by producing results in all cases without bias. He made the remarks during a special interview with PSM News. Acknowledging the progress made by the police institution in recent years, the Commissioner noted that many people still harbor doubts about the institution's ability to handle the investigations effectively. He mentioned that even after assuming office, he had received complaints regarding this issue. Highlighting that investigations into serious cases are progressing well, the Commissioner highlighted that there is still much work to be done to establish public trust. He explained that these cases represent only a small fraction of the total number of cases reported to the Maldives Police Service, and added that the institution need to engage more actively with smaller cases. As part of his efforts to foster public confidence, the Commissioner shared his vision of improving communication between complainants and investigation officers. He said the goal is for each investigation officer, IO, to contact the person associated with the case every 14 days to provide updates on the investigation or the work being done by the police, and noted that this approach offers two key benefits. He further noted that enhancing the relationship between the police and the public would expedite investigations and ensure that the parties involved are informed about the progress of their cases. Although this practice has been implemented in some areas, the Commissioner pointed out a shortage of investigating officers. With recent changes in the law, the demand for investigating officers has increased, which requires them to manage a larger number of cases simultaneously. To address this challenge, the Commissioner stated that he is actively working to train more investigative officers. The Controller General of Maldives Immigration, Shaman Wahid, emphasizes that recent raid operations in the Maldives focused on tackling illegal immigration, particularly targeting businesses operating under the names of Maldivians and setting up factories in households. These businesses, often involved in food production, raised significant concerns regarding poor hygiene and the sale of products misrepresented as locally produced.
In a special interview with PSM News, Shaman discussed the government's efforts over the past year to address illegal immigration. He highlighted the significant progress made, including reforms to the immigration system and the development of specialized software designed to streamline operations and facilitate information sharing between government agencies. Shaman also noted the collaboration with enforcement agencies under the Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology to tackle the issue in a comprehensive manner. He revealed that over 5,000 foreign nationals involved in illegal businesses had been deported in the past year. Ongoing special inspections are being conducted to identify illegal foreigners, with companies employing them being subject to fines. In addition to deportations, the government is gathering detailed information on all foreigners working in the Maldives and accelerating the collection of biometric data to identify foreign nationals residing in the country.
The National Center for Information Technology (NCIT) has resumed the online face verification service of the National Digital Identity (EFAS) after a temporary suspension to change the service provider. The NCIT originally contracted Sum and Substance Private Limited (SIMSUB) to provide the online face recognition service of EFAS. However, the work has been transferred to a new provider, leading to the resumption of the service. The updated face verification service is now available through the EFAS web platform, accessible via all commonly used browsers. The service is now powered by an application from Regular Forensics, a reputable forensics company based in Latvia with 30 years of experience in digital security services. NCIT assures that no citizen's photo or personal information will be shared with external parties, ensuring privacy and security. Minister of State for Homeland Security and Technology, Dr. Mohammad Kinanat, who oversees NCIT, expressed the agency's commitment to strengthening the EFAS system. He emphasized the goal of making EFAS a trusted system that plays a central role in expanding digital services in Maldives. He reiterated that prioritizing the people's needs and ensuring their trust would remain central to the agency's mission. NCIT aims to ensure that state-provided digital services are accessible only to the rightful requester, reducing the risk of identity theft and fraudulent transactions. Prior to the introduction of the online face verification service, EFAS verification was conducted through in-person visits or video calls to designated centers for manual updates. The Maldives Police Service (MPS) launches an information campaign aimed at Chinese tourists visiting the Maldives during the high tourist season. The initiative, which began last Friday, is a collaborative effort involving the Ministry of Tourism, the Chinese Embassy, and the Tourist Police. Its primary objective is to reduce incidents involving Chinese tourists that visit the country. As part of the campaign, Chinese tourists arriving at Welana International Airport will be provided with essential safety information regarding water sports, beach activities, and other aspects of their holiday experience in the Maldives. Tourists will be given information leaflets in Chinese outlining key precautions to take while engaging in various beach activities, as well as general guidelines to ensure a safe and enjoyable stay in the country. The Ministry of Tourism has also announced its efforts to establish regulations governing water sports and other water-related activities for tourists. In the interim, the Ministry has instructed the development and implementation of a set of safety standards until the official regulations are finalized. Fahidi Rodong Corporation (FTC) decides to initiate a development project of building 13,000 housing units in the Greater Male region. To implement this project, it has entered a framework agreement with 3 international banks.
Speaking to PSM News, Managing Director of FTC, Hamdan Shakil, announced plans to launch additional housing projects to develop social housing units in the Greater Male region. As such, he revealed that a framework agreement was signed with a Sri Lankan company earlier this year to develop 3,000 housing units. He stated that efforts are currently underway to secure the required finances for the project. Additionally, Hamdan disclosed that another framework was signed with 2 foreign companies to develop 10,000 housing units. He noted that the project will be implemented with the assistance of loans from various international financial agencies. While FDC has decided to initiate additional housing projects, it is currently developing 4,000 housing units in Hulumale Phase 2, aiming to complete the project within the next year. FDC has submitted outstanding payments for the project, which stood at $1.2 million, and is exerting efforts to ensure that the project is completed expeditiously. The housing crisis is a long-pressing social issue in the Maldives. Therefore, President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu is committed to resolving this issue during this tenure. Aiming to achieve this goal, the largest allocation of the state budget for 2025 was for housing initiatives.
Maldives Ports Limited (MPL) announces plans to develop cruise terminals at 4 strategic locations in line with the company's master plan. Speaking on a program aired on PSM News, MPL's research and development consultant Anil Adam stated that the master plan includes the construction of 4 cruise lines terminals. A feasibility study is currently being conducted in collaboration with a consultant from Greece to assess the viability of the project. Anil further stated that the project will proceed after consultations with relevant experts. The planned terminals will be located in Uligan in Ha Alif Atoll, Fornadu in Lam Atoll, and Hitadu in Adu City. Additionally, once the commercial port in Tilafushi Kaf Atoll is relocated, MPL intends to repurpose the land for tourism development, including the construction of a cruise terminal. MPL also revealed that discussions have taken place with the Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure regarding this project. Furthermore, MPL has signed an agreement with the Uligan Island Council to develop the terminal on the island. With the peak tourism season drawing several cruise ships visitors to the Maldives, large vessels are currently docked near Male City or anchored outside the lagoons of various islands. Bank of Maldives (BML) appoints Sahar Wahid as the Deputy CEO and Chief Operating Officer (COO) of the bank. The appointment was made following significant changes brought to BML's leadership structure.
BML revealed that Sahar has over 18 years of experience in banking, undertaking responsibilities related to banking operations, legal and corporate affairs, human resources, administration and properties, and the procurement of the bank as well. She has held key positions at the bank, including Head of Strategic Planning and Change Management, and most recently as the People and Change Director. Sahar also holds a Bachelor of Science in Economics and Economic History from the London School of Economics and Political Science, as well as an LLM in Commercial Law. She also holds a Chartered Banker professional qualification from the Asian Institute of Chartered Bankers. To align its organizational structure with its long-term strategic goals, BML announced its new executive management team today as well. As such, Nandana Senaviratne was appointed as the Chief Financial Officer and Gary Lawton was appointed as the Chief Risk Officer. Additionally, Adli Ahmad Didi was appointed as the Chief Technology Officer, Musa Nimal as the Chief Business Officer, Rashfa Jaufar as the Chief Credit Officer, Aishat Zamra Zahir as the Chief Marketing Officer, and Hassan Kalam as the Chief Islamic Banking Officer. Regarding the appointments, CEO of BML Muhammad Sharif stated that each individual appointed to the position were experts in their respective areas. He expressed confidence in their capabilities in driving BML's vision of supporting individuals, businesses and communities across the country.
Stellantis Chief Executive Carlos Tavares on Sunday resigned with immediate effect, the auto giant announced, signaling differences over how to confront the group's profit slump. The Italian-US-French company, whose 14 brands include Fiat, Peugeot, Citroën, Opel, Maserati, Chrysler, Ram and Jeep, said in a statement that the board had accepted the resignation of the 66-year-old Portuguese executive. The group said in September that it had started looking for a successor for Tavares, who had been due to stand down when his current 5-year contract ends in early 2026. It added that an interim executive committee, led by Chairman John Elkann, will run the company until then. Stellantis has reported growing difficulties in recent months that Tavares had acknowledged as stormy. Several model launches were delayed because of electrical problems. Elkann has dismissed any further merger with another group, while Tavares had hinted that the door was open for a deal. A Stellantis earnings report in July said sales in North America, the main profit source, were down 18% in the first 6 months. It later cut its profit forecast and said third-quarter sales in North America were down 20% on the 2023 figure. Like other auto groups, Stellantis has blamed competition from China and the difficult transition to electric cars for much of its troubles. Tavares started his career in the car industry with Renault before becoming chief executive of the old PSA Group in 2014, where he made his name as a cost cutter and guided the French group's merger with Germany's Opel. A collector of vintage racing cars, Tavares was made chief executive of Stellantis when PSA and Fiat Chrysler merged in 2021 to form the new group. At the start, it made impressive profits and invested quickly in electric and hybrid vehicles. Thank you, Met Centre-right parties Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael looked set Monday to retain power in Ireland as vote counting in the European Union members' general election continued, with coalition talks looming. With 153 of 174 seats in the lower chamber of parliament decided since Friday's vote, the two parties were ahead of the main opposition, the left-wing nationalist Sinn Féin. Fianna Fáil, led by the experienced Michael Martin, had the largest vote share with nearly 22%. Fine Gael, whose leader Simon Harris is the outgoing Prime Minister, was running second with nearly 21%, while Sinn Féin was in third with 19%. To form a majority, a party or coalition requires at least 88 seats. So far, Fianna Fáil was projected to win 40 seats, Fine Gael 33 and Sinn Féin 34. Both centre-right parties have repeatedly ruled out entering a coalition with Sinn Féin. The central-left opposition parties, Labour and the Social Democrats, are seen by Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil as the most likely junior coalition parties, according to media reports. The Green Party was the third member of the previous coalition, but its support collapsed nationwide, with all but one seat likely to be lost. At the last general election in 2020, the pro-Irish Unity Sinn Féin, the former political wing of the paramilitary Irish Republican Army, was the most popular party but could not find willing coalition partners. That led to weeks of horse trading, ending up with Fine Gael, which has been in power since 2011, agreeing a deal with Fianna Fáil. During the last parliamentary term, The role of Prime Minister rotated between the Fianna Fáil and the Fine Gael leaders. The final seat numbers, which will not be confirmed until later this week, will determine whether Harris returns or Martin takes the role under a similar rotation arrangement. The new parliament is due to sit for the first time on December 18, but with coalition talks likely to drag on, a new government might not be formed until next year. Liverpool overawed arch-rivals Manchester City in a 2-0 win on Sunday with goals from Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah to take a 9-point lead at the top of the Premier League and extended their opponents' slump to 7 games without a win. The result was City's first 4-game losing streak in the Premier League since 2008 and pushed Pep Guardiola's struggling side down to an unfamiliar 5th in the table, 11 points behind their greatest rivals of recent years.
All we can do is accept it, congratulate them and learn from them. But at the same time, still we are in November, we are not at the end of the season. Like many things, the decisions can be made more drastically. So I'm sitting here still defending what we defend, because this play as a group of players gave me absolutely everything. My best, one of probably the best years of my life as a manager. I live here in Manchester, but we had to find a solution. I had to find the solution or the reason why with the players to try to win games.
Buoyed by a midweek Champions League win over Real Madrid, Liverpool came out flying and could have wrapped the game up by half-time with a handful of chances, including 2 thundering Virgil headers, one of which hit the woodwork.
It's always nice to come out in both situations as a winner, but the reason why these teams won so many things is that they weren't able to win once or twice, they were able to win every single 3 days. So we're really happy with these 2 wins, but we also understand if we want to achieve more than this, then winning once or twice is, even against these big teams, is not enough to win anything in the end of the season.
The first goal came in the 12th minute after a sumptuous long pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold to Salah on the right wing. His low cross eluded Manchester City goalkeeper Stefan Ortega for Gakpo to nudge the ball in at the back post. Salah scored Liverpool's second with the 78th minute penalty after his strike partner Luis Diaz was brought down by Ortega in the box, sending the Anfield crowd into delirium. Just after midnight, as poisonous plumes of smoke wafted through the Indian city of Bhopal 4 decades ago, Grace Devi was born, gasping for every breath. Her feeble cries were drowned out by the screams of men, women and children as they ran to escape the cloud of highly toxic gas leaking from the Union Carbide factory on the night of December 2, 1984. Some 3,500 people were killed in the immediate aftermath, and up to 25,000 are estimated to have died overall in the world's deadliest industrial disaster. Devi, a daily wage laborer, has constant pain in her chest, one of her lungs is not developed fully, and she keeps falling sick. Even if she wanted, she cannot forget the night she was born. Her parents named her Grace. 27 tons of methyl isocyanate (MIC) used in the production of pesticides swept through the city of over 2 million people after one of the tanks storing the deadly chemical shattered its concrete casing. As the white cloud of MIC showered at areas close to the factory, people started collapsing in the streets. Rashid Abi, co-founder of the Shingari Trust charity that offers free treatment to children of gas-affected families, believes those who died were fortunate. Her trust has seen more than 150 children being admitted this year alone with cerebral palsy, hearing and speech impairments and other disabilities. She blames the disorders on the accident and the contamination of the groundwater. In 1989, Union Carbide, in a partial out-of-court settlement with the Indian government, agreed to pay $470 million in compensation to the victims. but the victims themselves were not consulted in the negotiations and received just $500 each. The current owners have refused to pay further compensation for the catastrophe that continues to unfold till this day. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.
For over 30 years, we have been getting stronger and faster. We have been expanding our network across the globe. In the Middle East and Northern Africa, we have Sister Union, Arab States Broadcasting Union, sharing news with us daily. In Europe, we exchange news with over 60 different European broadcasters, and in America, CNN receives news materials from AVN and broadcasts them all over the world. Asian news is changing faster and having more of an impact on global affairs than ever before. The new internet platform has made it easier to contribute and access current news events, and the rise of membership participation has led to a dramatic increase of items being exchanged over the last year. So join us as we document history in the making. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
AVN, every Thursday night at 11 o'clock on PSM News.
කදේමෙන් දෙමිහුම් මිහාර තිවුණනි බිදා එතරය වන්නන්ත ආකුතන් අස් මේ නිකුන්නන් ඔන්න ජාගයේ මේ වීල්චියර් එක සර්වාදන් ඔන්න මේ ස්ලෝ පාදාලා ඔන්න ජාගා මගෙග්ගේ කම්ම තිමියුණ නිලා කරංගල මේ වෙබ්බස් පිකපක ගෝලියෙන් ගලනේ කියනෝ ආව මිතලු නිකුමෙනකමට එකක් වර්තම දිමා කුර දෙම් මීන මෙහර මිජාගේ එක ගහනේ නුවද වේනේ මේ වීල්චියර් ඇචි දාන් ඔන්න තලකේ එහෙම් මේ මෙවන මිමියුම් මෙහෙ දෙකොත නහදාරේ මගු කංකම් මතීග විගොතන් ආස් සාකල් නොබහට්ටා හේ රංගලෝ කම